Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Crypto Takeover here, coming back with a Bitcoin cryptocurrency video for you today. We're going over some news articles, then taking a look at Bitcoin. Go ahead and stick around, folks. If that sounds interesting, then let's get started. Bitcoin sitting right at around 22,800. We've been really fighting with that 23,000 area, and now we're starting to see some consolidation out to the side over the past couple of hours. So we're definitely going to be looking at the charts here in a little bit. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, folks. Hit the notification bell so that we all can be updated every single video that we make on this channel when these crypto prices start surging in 2021. So get ready, folks. This is just the beginning, like we've been saying for the past year or so on this channel, and the time is finally now. So we have a news article here talking about Coinbase's IPO being launched. As Bitcoin surges, prominent cryptocurrency exchanges Coinbase aims to go public. As Bitcoin surges all-time high, the most prominent cryptocurrency exchange has signaled its intent to go public. Cryptocurrency brokerage Coinbase said Thursday that it has filed a draft registration statement that with the Securities and Exchange Commission, paving the way for the plans for an eventual initial public offering. The announcement comes as an interest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies has soared during the coronavirus pandemic. Investors have found such currencies attractive as the US dollar weakens. Bitcoin has been smashed by its own price records, recently surpassing the symbolic $20,000 a coin milestone. It has since continued to climb higher and was last trading just shy of 23,000 according to the data. Okay, Coinbase was launched in 2012 according to the website, and more than 35 million people in over 100 countries trust Coinbase to buy, sell, and store, use, and earn cryptocurrency. The company indicates it has more than 25 billion in assets to perform on the platform and more than 320 billion in total volume traded. Coinbase declined to provide additional comment. Okay, cool. So obviously we basically know that people are going to start taking crypto a lot more serious. If Coinbase is to launch an IPO, I'm kind of curious to see where that's going to launch at too. You know, we'll have to see how that kind of plays out. But you're going to see that these companies that aren't invested in cryptocurrency or that don't hold Bitcoin or anything, they don't have anything to do with crypto, they're just going to kind of tank off on the deep end, you know? And so the fact that you're going to start to see even exchanges launch IPOs is just it's groundbreaking, and it's groundbreaking for the crypto sphere in this crypto space, but it means that we're not to be taken lightly. And for the fact that there's been a lot of naysayers here and there, this is going to just get thrown in their face more and more and more as time progresses. And the fact that Coinbase is going to be launching an IPO and being listed on the stock market also goes to show that with you know, there's a high likelihood that if anything does happen with exchanges such as Coinbase, it goes down, or like if there's a hack or something like that, then more than likely you're going to be able to get refunded, because they have to go through so many regulations for themselves to be listed as an exchange on the stock market, I would imagine. So there's going to be a lot of I would say just barrier between, you know, if anything does go wrong on the exchange or whatever you may have it, and being allowed to always maybe have your funds available too as well. Obviously, we all know that, you know, the main takeaway from leaving your coins or taking your coins off of the exchange is not your keys, not your coins. That means if you don't hold the private keys, then you don't own it. Just like gold and silver, you wouldn't want to store your gold and silver inside of a bank. Same thing goes with crypto. Obviously, if you're not a holder of your seed phrase or your private keys, then you will not be you know, the main person holding the crypto. And folks, if that sounds a little complicated, we do have a beginner course in cryptocurrency available. Links in the description box below. There's a teachable course available for you. If you want to join it, you can get access to how to store your crypto safely on private wallets, software wallets, ways that we think that are the safest way to store your crypto. And then we also talk about exchanges that we use on a regular basis that we've been using for the past couple of years being inside of the crypto space. Ever since the all-time high of 2017. And we also talk about ways not to get scammed inside of this space too. There's a lot of scammers out there. You need to make sure that you're being very careful. And if you want to learn a little bit more about staking and such too, we go over that as well. So moving on to the next article, folks. Mark Cuban, Bitcoin is more religion than solution and won't help in doomsday scenarios. I just find this hilarious, man. This guy is just all over the place, and I don't know why you have. I mean, okay, take it or leave it, but these guys would suck as traders just because they wouldn't know, an apple from an orange, to be honest. And they would say, well, the apple looks like an orange, or the orange looks like an apple. And they would probably change their mind billions of times. But this is also probably just more of a psychology game. And that's the way I look at all these big investors that come out and say that Bitcoin's crap. It's, uh, what's his name? Pina? I forget his name. But, it's just funny to see these guys just sit here and rag about Bitcoin. But like, at 27 or in 2017, they were like, oh, we're getting in Bitcoin. And then they can't hold through a bear market. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense for these people to have this much money and to easily get shaken out like that. I don't believe it. I honestly, and let's just kind of see. Although Bitcoin has tripled in the value year, Mark Cuban remains cautious about cryptocurrency as he's been for years. My thoughts haven't changed, Cuban told Forbes. Yeah, your thoughts have changed. What are you talking about? This guy literally said like 2 years ago that I'm getting in Bitcoin and this and that, and I'm gonna, like Bitcoin's the future and it's better than gold. I remember the interview that he talked about this, and and so Bitcoin has hit a record high in 20,600 on Wednesday. Cuban said a store of value that is more religion than solution to any problem, and Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that will not replace fiat and government-backed currency, he said. Man, it is just unbelievable, these guys. I cannot believe these guys. The fact that they jump around like this, it is just trying to play both sides and obviously make the normal people not aware of the changes that are happening right now too. They have even allowed you to purchase ticket games in Bitcoin. And this is a recently available thing for Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks, and being able to purchase jerseys and stuff using Bitcoin. I believe it's on their website now. So the fact that we can just not, we can be oblivious. We can be oblivious to the things that are going on in the background that these millionaires, billionaires are doing. By the forefront of what they're saying in these articles, but then you go to the back end and really see what they're doing. They're accumulating. They are heavily accumulating Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and that's all it comes down to. They're gonna lie to your face no matter what, and it is just unbelievable, folks. I cannot believe that we really have Mark Cuban coming out once again saying Bitcoin is trash, when 2 years ago he was all in the rage about it, just like Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary, there's an interview that goes back to 2013, 2014. Bitcoin's the future. It's going to go to all-time highs. And in 2017, it did. It hit 20K. And then during the bear market, Bitcoin is trash. Bitcoin this. And then he talks about not wanting to invest until the ETF is released. I don't get it, folks. I really don't get it. I honestly think it's just mass media. Mass media will try and control you to their fullest extent, folks. This is a favor in Bitcoin to hedge against inflation in the U.S. dollar. This will survive any economic infrastructure collapse. I'm just curious to see what this fool said. No matter how much Bitcoin fans want to pretend that it is a hedge against doomsday scenarios, it's not. Cuban said countries will take steps to protect their countries and their ability to tax. So the more people believe this is anything more than a store of value, the more risk of a government intervention they face. So obviously he's still on the same page with it's a store of value, but I think that maybe he's getting to the point where how are we going to transact with this currency? And I get that to a certain extent, but I know in other ways that this could possibly play out. The fact that you're going to probably have a lot of debt between countries settled with Bitcoin, that goes to show that this is here to stay, folks. And the fact that you're gonna have him be as bearish as possible to keep you away from this stuff, it's just unbelievable, folks. Cuban agrees Bitcoin is like gold and that it is a store of value, but because by its code the supply of Bitcoin is limited, as demand fluctuates, the price will be volatile. But he said as long as people accept Bitcoin as a digital version of gold, it's investable. Investable, of course, doesn't mean that it is a sure bet. though Cuban himself has previously invested in business and built on cryptocurrency. There you go. And even in Bitcoin, he frequently warns against it, calling Bitcoin a gamble. And when it comes to gambling, you need to be prepared to lose that money. In fact, Cuban previously told Wired he would rather have bananas than Bitcoin. I remember him saying that because at least food, bananas, and intrinsic value. Well, who gives intrinsic value to bananas? You know what I'm saying? It's the people. And who's gonna say that I can't, go out to, it's just like having shells and people wanting to trade shells, back in the old days or whatever. Who gave that value? It was the people. The people gave the shells value, and that's exactly what we're doing with Bitcoin. People are giving it the value. The charts are not telling us that this thing is doesn't have value, because obviously it does. It's past 20K. It's $23,000 now, and you're telling me that it doesn't have any value. Well, folks, I'd give Mark Cuban all the bananas he effing wants. Sorry, I'm getting a little carried away here, but this is just ridiculous, man. I cannot believe these people out here that are, they just I think that they're just trying to keep mass people. They're trying to keep the normies away from, being having an upper hand here. And that's exactly what we've done. So much research, folks. We've done so much research on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. And if you want to join us in our Patreon page, I talk about all the research that I've done to know that this is the next wave. This is the next movement. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. Why do you think I named this channel Crypto Takeover? Because cryptocurrency will be a daily life in the future. It is inevitable, folks. And you have to understand that. You have to understand that. You have to be prepared. And the fact that they're just steadily straying you away from this, it's nerve-wracking, man. It really is. But also he said a banana has more utility, potassium, and valuable nutrients to every person on the planet. Well, no crap, but how are you going to buy a banana if your dollar goes to crap? If your hyperinflated dollar goes to zero, then what else are you going to use? You're going to either use gold and silver, or you're going to use cryptocurrency. And that's all it comes down to, folks, is people aren't going to be accepting dollars. They've already stopped accepting dollars at some places and some retail businesses. Like, they don't accept cash anymore, folks. It's either card or, that's pretty much it. It's just, mostly card. And so obviously we're going to be using something else in the future. We just have to figure it all out. And it's here. It's folks. It's right here. It's right around the corner. It'd be so easy, like a no-brainer. Cuban. What? For the investor to change his mind about Bitcoin, it would have to be an easy to use, like a no-brainer. Cuban said. How is this not a no-brainer? It would have to be completely friction-free and understandable by everybody first. So yeah, and we get that, but it won't be completely understandable until the infrastructure is built. And once the infrastructure is built, it'll probably be past $30,000. It'll be well on its way to $100,000 once everything is built out underneath it. So right now we have obviously Bitcoin soaring to a price of all-time highs, and the infrastructure is being built, and so it won't be completely utilized until Bitcoin's already $100,000. And that's just, it is what it is, folks. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen within the year, but it's looking more like it's ready to happen. So folks, we're going to move over here into the charts. I kind of got carried away with that too. But this is just, it's just unbelievable. I can't believe that these people out here are telling you that, Bitcoin's, I'd rather have bananas than Bitcoin. And I get that to a certain extent. People got to eat. But the only way you're going to eat and you're going to trade that banana is for something valuable. And if you don't have the Bitcoin, then you won't be able to freaking buy bananas. You know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't make any sense that they're constantly trying to maneuver their way around this and tell people that it doesn't have any value whatsoever, when clearly the charts are saying that we're at $22,700 right now. And you're telling me that this doesn't have any value? Get the F out of here, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of some of these people, but at the same time, they're blindly telling people that and it's gonna hurt, man. It's gonna hurt It's going to hurt in the future if you didn't get in. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to probably come after these people because you said it was crap. You said it was zero. It would go to zero. Blah blah blah. They're going to come after these people hard in and out, dude. And it is what it is. It's so sad. But that's why we're here making videos. That's why I've created the channel, and that's why it's called Crypto Takeover, because it's inevitable, folks. It is inevitable, and we need to be prepared for it. So, looking at the charts here, getting carried away there. Let's take a look here. So we're looking at the 1 hour chart. We've already started to see a little bit of a bounce here. Now we're kind of waiting to get moved back up above our zero pivot point here. But our money flow is looking really good here, folks. Looking at the 2 hour, ready to probably bounce there too as well. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. 4 hour starting to trend out to the side here on the VWAP, so I would expect another move to the upside. But we have found support here at this bottom trend line right at about 22,300 or so. And then if we start to move on into the higher time frames, looking at like the daily and such, let's take a look at the daily. Daily does look like it could have a little bit of a red dot here pretty soon. I would expect one more bounce to probably try and get above 23,000, and then if we continue off, maybe after we get a little bit of a red dot here, we'll probably have a nice little wick to the downside, maybe finding support at about the 22,000 area or so, 22,500 or so. But we're really extended over some of our EMAs, so that's the only thing I would be cautious about too, is that we probably want to come back down and retest some of these EMAs for consolidation. And moving on into next week, going into Christmas, I would definitely expect probably some consolidation out to the side. But our money flow is still looking really good. I don't think there's going to be a really big sell-off anytime soon. Probably maybe in January. That's what we're looking at for more of a dip. But this consolidation pattern here is probably going to lead to another bullish move to the upside. That's just kind of what it looks like as of right now. Let's take a look at the dominance chart and kind of go from there. Let's take a look at the daily dominance and kind of see where we're at here with this. So we've just had a nice recovery after this big sell-off here, and it does look like we are continuing up here. The daily is putting in a 9 on the TI sequential, but I would still look for our 2-day to see where we're at here. And we are putting in somewhat of another trend line for us right now. We did have this buy signal here on the 2-day, so I would expect a little bit of consolidation. It does look like we are getting a 9 on the TI sequential too as well. And folks, don't forget, we use the market cipher indicator by CryptoFace and the TI sequential by Tone Vase and the market god buy and sell signals. If you're interested in picking up some of those paid for indicators, you can check the links in the description box below. I believe market cipher is still on sale right now, so shout out to CryptoFace and his crew. Definitely our bread and butter on this channel is market cipher. So let's take a look at our 3-day. What we're looking for is just another push back up to this resistance point, about 68% or so. And I definitely think that it's possible. It's in the works right now, but it's going to take a while to play out. Probably going on into next week, we'll get another push to the upside here. And, you know, I think that could be relatively bullish for us, honestly. I've been keeping a close eye on the dominance chart and just saying how much this wants to bounce to the upside, but it does look like our 3-day is ready to kind of continue moving up to the top side here. And our money flow is probably ready to come into that greenish area on the dominance chart too as well. So I'd be prepared for this. It does look like we probably could be making a relatively bullish move next week or so. So just be ready for that after some consolidation out to the side as of right now. And so folks, let's get over here into some of our altcoins such as Ethereum. Let's take a look at ETH on the daily chart, see where we're at here. Still fighting this pivot trend line here too as well. We've been just steadily riding up and continuing up here with this pivot trend line. We came back down to test the 21 EMA or so. The daily does look like a good chart to kind of keep a good reference for us too. I'm still expecting a move above the pivot trend line here, which could definitely play out. We're starting to see these green dots on these higher time frames, so possibly a move, you know, all the way up to 700 or so, maybe going on into next week. We'll kind of have to see how that wants to play out. It does look like some of our mid time frames are seeing a little bit of consolidation as of right now. Let's take a look at the 2 hour. Are we ready to recover? We could be ready to make a little bit of a bounce here. I'd be a little cautious though of our money flow looking a little thin, so we're going to have probably some high volatility with our consolidation out to the side as of right now. Looks like we're kind of putting in a somewhat of a triangle here formation too as well on the lower time frames. But yeah, this is more or less looking still pretty good. I definitely be keep an eye on this daily chart for us to get probably back up above $700 or so for Ethereum. And last but not least, folks, let's take a look at the dollar index value and see what's happening here. Oh, this just looks hideous, man. And one of these days, man, your dollars will not be able to buy you bananas. It's just it is what it is. And yeah, this looks hideous, man. Our 2-day is breaking lower lows to 89 cents right now. It looks like we did wick all the way down to almost 88 cents. We had been looking at 88 cents for a while. I had been calling for 88 cents here. You can check out our previous videos, folks. And our all-time low was probably about 88 cents. So we're still looking for a dip all the way back down to that 88 cent area. And we've had nothing but more news about stimulus being passed and more dollars being inflated into the world, and it's just not looking too pretty for the dollar right now, folks. But that's exactly why we are going to make sure that we do our due diligence with cryptocurrency, do all the research that we can, and make sure that we can hedge ourselves against the dollar collapse, because we know that also that is imminent too as well, based on all of our research that we've done inside of our Patreon page. Feel free to join us in there if you want to learn how we're trading this market, the ins and outs that we're getting into with Bitcoin, altcoins that we're getting into too as well. We have all of our top altcoin picks available for you inside of the Patreon page. So we go over all our bullish picks for our altcoins, getting ready for 2021. I do believe 2021 will be the year of what they're saying, or what some other altcoiners are saying, is hyper growth for altcoins. And I have no doubt in my mind, because you're starting to see a lot of bullish sentiment come back into the crypto space, and you're going to see a lot of these companies start to want to invest their money inside of crypto and altcoins too as well. So get ready, folks. Time is now, and I want you to be prepared. So thanks for joining us on today's video. I look forward to speaking with y'all on the next one. Stay prepared out there, and I'll see y'all soon. CTO signing out. Peace.